Welcome to the FWI News Review. Coming up, moves to distance pigs from swine flu, supermarket ombudsman plans are revealed, and the Farmers Weekly team gets a helping hand from Farmer Frank. The Egyptian government has begun culling its entire pig herd as a precaution against swine flu. Up to 400,000 pigs could be killed in the move, which officials admit wouldn't block the virus. So far, the disease hasn't been found in pigs, but officials say killing them could quell panic. The move came as Mexican authorities denied claims that the outbreak of swine flu originated from an industrial pig unit. The NFU says the disease has nothing to do with pigs and is urging people to continue eating pork. The Competition Commission has unveiled its long-awaited plans for a supermarket ombudsman. Johan Tasker reports.
Supermarkets are being urged to back plans for a watchdog to monitor the often fraught relationship between farmers and retailers. Industry bodies and MPs called on the stores to back the proposals, which are aimed at making the supply chain fairer and more transparent. The challenge came as the Competition Commission unveiled its long-awaited proposals for a supermarket ombudsman.
Farmers are being asked whether they would be willing to warn neighbours before they go spraying. Isabel Davies reports from the FWI forums.
The NFU is seeking views on whether the industry should voluntarily introduce a prior notification scheme. The idea is that people concerned about living close to fields that need spraying could sign up for message alerts. This would enable them to make sure that all windows are shut before the machine arrives. But the reaction on the forum has been alarm. It seems many farmers aren't convinced there's a need. Is this not a case of voluntarily gold-plating our own legislation? Says not for us. Wormdigger agrees. This is another ill-conceived plan from those who have no practical knowledge of the industry. It's about time we insisted that only people with experience of what it's like to do these jobs decide the rules and regulations. Many farmers believe the idea is just not practical. What happens if Mrs. Smith at number 22 doesn't get the text message in time and the field is sprayed before she has time to act? Could we be sued? Asks Bonehead. SJK raises an even more fundamental issue. The trouble with using text as the way of alerting people is that A, it assumes people have a mobile, and B, they don't mind giving their mobile number to neighbouring farmers. If you've got a view on this issue, visit fwi.co.uk/neighbours.
And finally, if you're fond of a flutter, it could be that one horse with a distinctly agricultural connection is worth a punt. Tim Ralph explains.
Now, I'm not a betting man, but imagine our excitement in the Farmers Weekly offices when we discovered that there's a horse with the very same name as our own agony uncle, Farmer Frank. Yes, he's a 6-year-old gelding. The horse, that is, not our agony uncle, who's considerably older than that and a curmudgeonly old goat to boot. Anyway, we had a flutter on him when he was racing last week, and guess what? He won. Romped home in the 6:30 at Toaster by 3.5 lengths, in fact. Pure poetry it was. And at 10-3, it was a nice little earner too. We tracked down his trainer, a guy called Nick Kent, and it turns out the horse, which is stabled in Lincolnshire, is owned and bred by a farmer. Seems like this is one nag that could be destined for big things. I wish I had a few more like him, the trainer told me. Know what I mean? Anyway, he could be racing again soon at Aintree, so keep your eyes peeled. He's definitely one to watch. Although, don't blame me if you lose money on him, obviously.
Thanks, Tim. That's it from me this week. For all the latest news, including live coverage from the YFC AGM in Blackpool, new evidence on badgers and TB, and the first drive of the Challenger C range, go to fwi.co.uk.